Charter Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance on the Central Coast today. We are joined by Chris Williams. He is the new superintendent of the Paso Robles Joint Unified School District. I say new, and there's a reason for that. If you've been following the news, Paso Robles USD had some tough years. Before you got there, they received a negative certification from the state, which meant the school was not fiscally, or the district was not fiscally solvent.
Correct.
Is that accurate?
Absolutely.
But a lot of school districts face that. It was a tough decade.
Absolutely.
Tough beginning of the decade. Went to qualify in 2013. Enrollment was dropping, but we have seen a turnaround.
Absolutely.
Talk to us about what we've seen.
So just through the insight of a great board and a great community, we've been able to put in restructure with new programs, really driving what we do in our organization by our student need and program need. So what we really shifted is taking our budget and looking at how it impacts student learning, student success, and student achievement, which is our key number one goal.
Of course.
And then we started looking at ways we can assess the current expenditures, how we can reduce those expenditures, put that money toward the new programs that have been created, which I'm sure we'll get a chance to talk about. And then also look at other streams of how we can create revenue coming in. So example, we have the new solar project coming in, which will have 6 sites and allow us to have revenue savings as we go through that.
The bottom line is you needed to get creative. You needed to really dig deep into the weeds of the Paso Robles budget, the USD budget, and figure out where could we find savings. Now, I'm sure it helped that Prop 30 was passed.
Absolutely.
I'm sure it helped that the economy started to turn around. But putting all those factors together, you triangulated around the situation. And like you described here now, I mean, basically in the black, you are starting, let's call it a capital enhancement campaign. Your teachers are getting raises. Enrollment starting to go up.
So kind of the short version of the story. In September when I arrived, very fortunate to be there. I really did those deep levels of getting through the weeds of where we were at. By December, we actually created a positive budget certification, had almost an 8% reserve. We're able to provide a 3% pay raise to all employee groups, which is one of the first pay raises they've had in about 6 years. Obviously removed all the furlough days that they had. Did a district restructure in January, which really aligned to what our expenditure plan was going to be. Our new visual art, performing art program, elementary athletic, elementary gate program.
Now, how did you figure out what were the needs? While in the background you see Prop 30 passing, you see the economy improving, we have this massive restructuring of education funding in California, where you have the local control funding formula giving you more say in how you'll spend your money, but then you have these parent groups, these stakeholder groups, the LCAPs, local control accountability plan groups that can provide you insight. Were you able to access those?
Oh, absolutely. So one of the great things they did on the superintendent search, they had many stakeholder groups. There was about 150 pages of feedback from parents, students, community members, local businesses, city council, the mayor, chief of police. One of the first things we did is when I got the first day on the job, I went and I started a student leadership group and really got great feedback. So I had about 20 students that I still stay in contact with to let me know the assessment of our organization and what we need to do. So the first piece they said, we have great teachers in this organization, but we don't have enough counselors. People don't know the great things that we do. They don't know our AP exam, because we were one of the highest performing AP school test scores in the county, but people don't know about it. And so we began to look at what the needs and the assessments were from feedback. So visual arts and performing arts, for example, when we looked at our clientele, we had every third grader going through a 501c3 business partner with studios on the park, and we're getting taught art by art professionals.
I want to dig into this issue because it feels good to have art programs. It feels good. But what does the research tell us about why, beyond feeling good, art is actually beneficial for the third grader?
Actually, if you look at not only third grade, we actually have art all the way down in kindergarten.
Wonderful.
So we have kindergartners where every student is actually getting integrated, whatever it may be. So if you look at brain research and brain development, that the arts and music will help develop not only the analytical components of mathematics, but also the kinesthetic components of what we deal with on a day-to-day basis.
The music part makes sense to me.
Absolutely.
I have to think that reading notes and looking at those 5 lines is going to help you structure your future algebraic equation. Am I right?
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at like the Pythagorean theorem and a squared plus b squared equals c squared, you're looking at the conceptual component that many people have a hard time with in math.
You also believe, that in order to improve the overall educational environment, athletics is important.
Absolutely.
Again, feels good. Love seeing my girls and boys play soccer and football. But why is that important for the overall academic environment?
Absolutely. So if we look from a scientific standpoint, anytime you work out and you are physically active, your body releases hormones and you will actually feel better about yourself on a day-to-day basis. And what we have put in place is every kindergartner through 5th grade, they get 2 days of physical education per week. And we have 3,000 elementary students. Every one of the students gets 35 minutes of dance per week as well. And it's the kinesthetic movement, it's the awareness, it's the physical release of being outside and being competitive, yet also getting better prepared for class. You get kids out for 30 minutes and come back in class, their attention span is going to be much improved.
And you're using the benefits of athletics as a way to close a budget hole.
Absolutely.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also look at the environment at the same time.
Sure.
You're bringing it all together.
So our first piece that we did, and I want to focus on key structure, we actually began a GATE program for our gifted and talented in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade, which is the only one in the county currently. So we assessed every 1st through 3rd grader. We looked at the academia in the classroom, increasing the budgets, providing support, providing instructional coaches with the remodel of what we did in the district so that we were improving instruction in the class so we had best first teaching, right? If kids have a dynamic teacher, which we have many of, they have a dynamic lesson and they can get the rigor and the relevance to that lesson, you're going to be very beneficial for the student results when you look at this assessment data, if you look at their connectivity to the schools. The second tier of that component came in with the visual art, performing art. Then it came in with the physical education, then the after-school athletic program for 3 days a week, where we have a fully comprehensive athletic program, fully comprehensive GATE program, fully comprehensive behavior framework plan.
But you need money for that.
We do need money.
So that's where you were using.
So when you go back and you look and you assess, just like we all get, we all receive a monthly paycheck, whatever it may be. Your priorities can be determined by how you spend your money, right? And one of the beliefs that we always have, our board has, is that we are going to put our money in alignment for student success and achievement. So every plan that we did, we developed a full comprehensive plan, vertically integrated from kindergarten through 12th grade. We actually brought it to the board with a board analysis, a budget analysis, and an expenditure outcome report, while we substituted some of the expenditures we had previously so that we could get vertical alignment and seamless integration, right? Big challenge on the seamless integration, but think about this, right? So I have 2 children. So every one of our students in our district now, not only do they get an intensive level of instruction in the classroom with instructional coaches assisting teachers, they get 35 minutes of think about this, exploratory music in kindergarten. They get 35 minutes of choir in 1st grade, advanced choir in 2nd grade. They get 35 minutes of recorder, instrumental with the brain development research. 4th grade, they have percussion. 5th grade, they have an eclectic approach to band, choir, and instrumental. There's 30-person band in each of the schools. So here's the benefit of it, right? So you see that number one, the attendance has gone up by about 3.5%. The camaraderie and the connection with students, right? You have a caring adult and kids know that you care about them, they're going to care right back. And for me, it's the belief in kids and the passion to get to be the best that we can be with the greatest program.
I want to zero in just on one thing and forgive
please
me.
Do.
But
Please
what
do.
I thought was really creative is that you looked at your desire to increase the athletic program and you wanted to save some water. And so what did you do? You took your fields and you put turf and coconut shells and you saved some water, saved some money. And allow the kids to, it may be small, but it's a metaphor to me.
Absolutely. So I think when we look at the solar project, ultimately we know we spend about $1 million annually on PG&E. So if I can reduce that and spend $750,000, it gives me $250,000.
You'll come back. We'll talk more.
Okay.
His name, we could talk forever. His name is Chris Williams. He is a superintendent of Paso Robles Joint Unified School District. I'm Brad Pomerance. It's Charter Local Edition.